Shan Masood has got to marshal the troops intelligently. A lot of singles lead today also in this partnership. Mushfiqur is not going to threaten you with fours and sixes. Litton Das can. In a defensive field set and a well spread out field set can offset the plans very quickly. And so singles leaked that allowed this partnership to grow. 60-run partnership. Oh, he was gone. He was gone for all money and given up. A direct hit when it was needed. It missed the stumps.
Babar Azam was the fielder guilty of not getting a direct throw. Talking about singles, huge misunderstanding, and he gave up. If the ball went and hit the stump, he would be back in the hatch, but it's wild. Too excited. He had all the time in the world to aim. This Litton Kumar Das had given up, and the senior cricketer has disappointed himself and the team.
This little episodes you tend to forget, batsman gloving the ball to keeper and Pakistan being blamed for not taking the DRS, and that was a major event, and this could be another major event. Litton Das would have been removed from the scene, and that would have given Pakistan a lot of peace.
We're just mentioning the fact and showing you a montage of the singles that were taken easily, and that almost got them to lose their wickets. Funny old game. So confident in rotation of strike, milking the runs, and then you have that huge mishap or misunderstanding which could lead to their mishap. Come out of it and you tell yourself as a batter, right, I've had that bit of luck, I need to ride on it. It's 176 for 4. With the lead now extended to double Nelsons, 2-2-2. Well, they have found a quite a vantage place to watch the cricket from.
Habibul Bashar on the left. The chief selector on the right is Junior Athar Ali Khan. WG Grace-like appearance.
Oh, missing the edge, getting the ball to go in the air. Close proximity of that fielder.
Yeah, one of the basics is to be on your toes when you're in short leg. He's probably on his heels there, and no chance in the end, was far away from his grab, but I think from technical point of view, he's got to be more on the toes.
Just that little event last ball will put the seeder down. I'll think the ball's going to grip. Be a time when, as a bowling unit, think you have the batter a little concerned. Maybe he's not flexing his wrist there. How comfortable is he? Comfortable enough to put the dead bat to it. He did a play when the bowlers need to just dry out the runs, build up the pressure. Even a batter of the class of Litton Kumar Das can be pressurized, but he's such a cool customer. The manner in which Litton really came back strongly in that first innings. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Because the Bangladesh team were down and out, losing wickets. He's just doing simple things at the moment. Flexing his hand. You can see that. It's not a bother.
a good cramp because there is extension stay at the crease and he's batted beautifully in both innings. Into the 40s of just 54 ball, 40 or 54, 177 for 4.
Mushfiqur ahead 21 of very, very patient 62 deliveries. They don't come out as much. The more enterprising and aggressive, have built up a partnership of concern for Pakistan. 62 of 108 balls. The lead now extended to 223 runs. About 15 minutes to go before lunch.
Looking at the field, I think they want to quieten him down and quieten down the process. This partnership, 62 of 109. And so as was the case in the first innings, Litton Das has somehow found a way to dominate the proceedings with a plucky piece of batting and good intelligent running. He's gotten there without expressing himself. Actually, it's just been run-of-the-mill kind of an innings, and yet he's operating at around, what, 75? That's his strike rate.
Well, he's been fortunate on 4 occasions. This road is luck well lit on Kumar Das. And we'll look at his test match. That's hit very hard to Sergeant Khan. And then PRS knocked it in when he gloved it. They've taken it. Then he benefited from catch, drop. Yeah, good effort, but difficult. And this run out that could have been swivel round nicely and right through the fingers. Desperate effort in the deep to no avail. 4 more runs.
Well, you expected a lot better from this young kid. Nice pull shot. Mushfiq controlling that so well, chase and then letting the ball slip through. As it is, Pakistan are lagging behind, so they need something to happen out there on the field. A moment of brilliance to cheer him up.
Just drifting down, like you can see the tired shoulders of Shahzad not really being able to control it. Looks Litton Das just went down and gave up completely. Look, it stood and Babar Azam throw off the mark. Opportunity missed. I can afford to laugh and relax as watching the big screen and enjoying that. Great escape. He wasn't laughing, that's for sure. Frowning.
Can become a very lonely place for you if you're at the receiving end. That dugout appears to bite you the moment you get back to that hutch. You feel that you are in an alien territory. Glum faces, you're hurting, but you've got to bounce back. And so from team aspect, it becomes an individual kind of an issue for you. Because you play for pride also. It happened with us also, Shamim, during the 92 World Cup, where we were getting hammered by all. Well, that's the End of the over. I thought we had 3 balls. There's something wrong with our fruit machine then. Fruit's gone sour. What is it? What's the score? 182 for 4.
Down the wicket, maybe just not where he intended. Seemed to check his shot at the last moment and have more control over it.
In case viewers and listeners are wondering what's the fruit machine, it's a monitor that we have where we get the numbers, how many runs scored and all the stats, and that went static. Well, continue with the story then. And so during the World Cup also, there were moments when we tried everything and still got hammered, and then from individual point of view, we all had a little huddle and a meeting, all the senior pros and players, and so we decided that it's up to us now to redeem ourselves. It's come to that moment now where we need to rise to the occasion. Forget about what will happen to the team cause. I think if we rise to the occasion, the team effort will look after itself. And I think that is what Pakistan need to think right now. It's about the Babar Azams of the world and Salman Ali Aghas who've got to front up. So Babar Azam 60 odd. I mean, from an individual effort, it was a goodish score, but obviously didn't contribute a great deal for the team. But now he's got to just play a selfish hand. I mean, if I want to call a selfish hand, play for pride and make sure that he stays out there for the entire part of the second innings. I think that's got to be the resolve from Rizwan and from Salman Ali Agha, from Babar Azam, all the batsmen. Your ego is hurt. Make sure that you play for pride and make sure that you dig in and recognize the fact that Pakistan are in a big trouble here, and you're going to get them out of that hole.
It's going to be difficult. Definitely going to be a tough ask for Pakistan. 185 for 4 into the last ball of the 50th over. And with that block, it remains that way. 185 for 4. Slowly and gradually, just turning the screw here. The Bangladeshi batters, Liton Kumar Das, Mushfiqur building up a threatening partnership. Just under 10 minutes to go before lunch. It's going to be a change in the bowling. Salman Ali Agha coming in, trying to roll over his arm and trying to get a breakthrough here. It's understandable. Shan Masood trying everything in his arsenal to get that vital wicket. Slip in a forward short leg. It's the ease with which he plays. Not hurried into anything, just seems to have all the time in the world. And then he says, I'm going to try and be more aggressive. Didn't quite middle it.
Funny way, it should relax Pakistan also, watching Liton Das and how he's progressed on a difficult pitch, on a difficult batting day. You got to back yourself. got to think that you can back like Lytton Das, so all is not lost, all is not that difficult. Apply yourself, make sure that, you know, your mind is in the right place and you focus.
And you feel you've got classy players in the Pakistan lineup. And then, when you see, as you mentioned, see how he has played the innings so far on a track which may be a tad difficult because of the scores we've had and the overhead conditions. If they can do it, why can't you? That should be the thought process.
Clarity of purpose and mind. I think Lytton Das knows exactly what is needed. He puts it to practice. Mushfiq's knock is as important. This partnership is running Pakistan down. 190 for 4.
A little bit of a struggle early on today. Chanta departing. Since then, now catches the call. It's going to drop short. Even if you tried to charge at that ball, it was never going to come into the deep.
Well, the way he's batting, maybe you got to call it intentional. I mean, he's got so much of control over everything out there that this was an intentional chip. Yeah, miscuing it, and South Shakil just couldn't get around that one.
Little moral victories that you need as a bowler to gee you up. And the slot sweep has been executed to perfection. This has gone all the way for the maximum. Effortless. Terrific.
Don't go by the size. Mushfiq can pack a punch, and this really is a great slot sweep. Opening up and hitting it flat over the rope. Strong six, strong hit.
Pressure back on the bowler. Comes back well. End of turn, not vicious. That's made it easier for the Bangladeshi batters to adjust and negotiate. Haven't seen prodigious turn into the third day that seems to have eased off ever so slightly. The wicket making it simpler, easier to milk the runs and get the big shots in.
Got to change the angle, maybe, Sergeant. Come round the stumps, do something different because it's not working.
That's better. Just pushed Moshe back, but Moshe is such a good player. He uses the depth of the crease very well. Because of his stature, he's very balanced at the crease. Just watches it right the way and puts that full face of the bat. Technique-wise, perfect. 198 for 4. The first session of the third day dominated by Bangladesh, lost the wicket of the skipper. But since then, these two have carried on. 88 runs added at a good run rate. 83 runs partnership, quite threatening. Manner in which they've gone about it, except for a chance of a run out, looked quite at ease.
Shakil with a left arm angle. Four wickets for him. That's first class career, by the way. Pakistan fought hard in that first session, but now Bangladesh once again bossing the process. Situation getting pretty serious now for Pakistan, because all it would take, as we all knew beforehand, one good session of batting and they'd be through. 200 comes up for Bangladesh, easing into that drive once again. Lytton Das
looking frighteningly comfortable for Pakistan. That manner in which he's gone about his innings, just 3 shy of another half century. What about less than 2 minutes left before lunch?
Like you have a bowler employed to bowl for declaration. I think there's got to be a bowler who can bowl for weather and rain. That's the only way Pakistan can be saved.
They need some divine intervention. Looking up into the clouds. Nah, don't give up. Ramesh, a lot of cricket left.
I'm just trying to figure out ways of how to save Pakistan.
Easy as they come. Simple to saunter across, amble across for the easiest of singles. Will it be the last ball before the luncheon interval? The fielders making sure, changing places, taking their time, settling down. Mushfiqur, look around. Another simple run taken. 203 for 4, and it is lunch here at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium, with absolute domination by Bangladesh. A brilliant partnership from 2 good innings by Liton Kumar Das on 48 and Mushfiqur on 39. And they've got 88 very, very good runs to put the pressure on Pakistan.
Yeah, Lytton Das has been the chief destroyer. He's the aggressor at the savior, because he was getting just a wee bit tight in the first half an hour for Bangladesh, and then things returned to normalcy because of Lytton Das and how well he's played once again. A great innings under pressure. Mushfiqur keeping in good company. 88-run partnership that has driven Pakistan once again on the back foot. So, more points to ponder for Pakistan in that session. Bangladesh once again being outstanding on a tough first session of batting. I mean, it's supposed to be a difficult batting performance, but it was eased into a lovely session by Lytton Das, largely because of Lytton Das.
Indeed, and that was a chance of just was beaten once, then 2 minds, and a different occasion. This time round, hit the feet, up on the British finger, took the review, but the review told him that he had to go. There's some edgy early shots in the innings from Liton, but once he got into his rhythm, his playing, blowing shots, pulling the balls, Mushfiqur did miss out. It's very compact when he's gliding through the covers. All very easy. Anything loose, short was pounced upon and put away with a lot of understanding. But this time it is a big, big escape, because he has almost run out, given up. But we don't go on Dash, but the Bangladesh couldn't find the wickets. Then the stop sweep with full effect, getting the maximum from Mushfiqur. So that's how it stands. The second innings for Bangladesh. Mohammad Hassan Jaj won the 52 runs. Mominul chipped in at 30, but it is the pair of Mushfiqur on 39 and Liton Kumar Dash not out on 48 to go into lunch, dominating the match at the moment. Look at the partnerships for Bangladesh. Not much to write home about early on, but it's Mohammad Hassan Jan Mominul putting on 76. Then bits and pieces later, but the important one, which might turn out to be really the deciding factor, is AK between Liton and Mushfiqur. They have struggled, but Shahzad has bowled with a lot of heart. 3 for 46, a wicket for the workhorse Abbas. Nothing much for the others, but still trying hard in the middle to get a breakthrough. So this is how it stands, 278, and it was 232 for Pakistan, with important that lead in the first innings for Bangladesh. And in the second essay, 203 for 4. At lunch, Bangladesh lead by 249 runs. Right, it's time for lunch. Everyone's gone in. We're going to take a short break. Please join us after the lunch in interval.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcoming you all, and this is how it stands. Bangladesh, 203 for 4. Overnight, it was 110 for 3, which means they've lost a solitary wicket at that one of Nazrul Hussain Shanto, the captain, this morning. And since then, it has been Mushfiqur Rahim and Leighton Dash stitching together a very important partnership. Right, welcoming you all to Ace Developer Presents Straight Drive, turn your investments into lifestyle. And to break down the first session, we've got with us Sikandar Bhatt and Adar Ali Khan. Thank you for your company. Your quick thoughts on the morning session so far, Sikandar.
I think they did well to get momentum last week, sorry, not last night, and then early morning transfer. But then since then, it's been hard trying for Pakistan. And it was expected the kind of form Lytton has shown and how, like a ball, Mushfiq always forms in that middle order. It was going to be easy for the Pakistan bowlers. I think total control in Bangladesh and with 249 lead. Still not out of it because there's still a lot of time in the test match. Pakistan again will have to come back with the same questions that they asked themselves. They need a couple of wickets when you get into the field.
Yeah, but from you as well, Pakistan needed wickets. They got one. Bangladesh partnership, they got one too.
Yeah, they were in the driving seat right from the word go. When they came up, they had 156 runs lead, and they're motoring along. I can tell you that. 93 they've added today. What's good to see from Bangladesh was that even though they lost Shanto early on, but it was important that two men in the middle. They took from Adash, who got 100, Mushfiqur Rahim, which is dependable, shaped up nicely because it's still a difficult pitch to bat on, but they've added 88 very important runs, and they're still there in the 138 over region, which means they're at what 240 plus ahead in terms of the lead. So in a very good position, and it's really nice to see that Bangladesh dominating.
Right. Strengthening the grip and Leighton Dash, is shown character, and Mushfiqur Rahim, as you said, Mr. Dependable. In this current WTC cycle, these are the top partnerships for Bangladesh, and he features in 3 out of 5 here, Mushfiqur Rahim.
Yeah, Mushfiqur featuring 3, also Shanto out of 3, out of those partnerships that we see, out of the 5, he features in 4. So Mushfiqur, we know how good he is, but if you look at the partnership that has been Gaul and Meerpur in this test cycle, so it is a breath of fresh air to see them do it in Sylhet, because what is important to see here on Sylhet is the surface. The talking point has been the surface, the pitch itself. Green tops, there's grass, there's movement for the seamers, so not easy conditions for batting. And when you have these conditions, and when you see this partnership, when you see the effort from Leighton, and especially Leighton plus Mushfiqur and company, it says a lot about the depth, the mindset in the batting department that Bangladesh have started to show. You require that to take control. There's still a long way to go. Day 3 first session, 2 more sessions today, and you have 2 more days, weather permitting. It has been so far so good, and that it has stayed dry. But to be able to do what they have done, it certainly sends a strong message that yes, Bangladesh might be just coming of age in this longest moment.
Right, and Pakistan looking for wickets. Kurum Shahzad yet again firing early in this first session. But this is how it looks like. It's got 3 wickets, Kurum Shahzad and Abbas getting 1. Your thoughts on the bowling?
I think bowlers are bowling their heart out. I mean, whatever conditions that are available to them and how they've been rotated by shot, they're doing their job and within their limitations. But the thing that the problem is about the fielding support, the captaincy. You look at almost again 100 runs being scored in this session. These are the wickets that are fallen. Hazil was yesterday. I mean, he's a bowler who gets a lot of seam movement. You'll expect that from him. The disciplines from Hamas. This was again a very important wicket. The way Joy was scoring, the pace at which he was scoring was a problem for Pakistan. And then this prize wicket from Paudel, just 2 deliveries before the end of the day's break, that made it difficult to believe that they're still in it. And that shot was early this morning. I think it's about the grabbing the opportunities. There was a run-out opportunity there. They should have grabbed that, because when wickets are hard to come, then these moments matter a lot.
Yeah. We'll definitely get to those moments, and these moments certainly do matter. But first things first, Pakistan bowlers, they needed to, stick to their basics, the line and length, and they've done that pretty well this morning.
Well, they'll be disappointed. Yes, they bowled well in patches. They picked up an early wicket, which was Shanto, but then they released the pressure. And if you look at what has happened in this test match so far, you visit the lengths that they bowled in the London. Yes, initially they were very good, especially Puram Suzan and Muhammad Abbas, but they could not continue to bowl it because that's how you build the pressure. They only managed to pick up a single wicket, 3 wickets per session, whereas day one there were 3 wickets, day two there were 4 wickets in the first session, which means Bangladesh absorbed the pressure, handled themselves, and made sure that they were there. Because if you don't lose wickets, then there's so much pressure on Shanghai and company. So it's more about the batting, the way they handle themselves, the way they absorb the pressure in that first session today, and instead of looking at where they bowled. Yes, they bowled well in the first maybe 5, 6 overs, but then they could not dislodge the runners. They needed to create a little bit more opportunities, especially on this surface.
Right, right. Well, plenty to wait for yet. Still not done with the show. This is A7 Presents Straight Drive. Time for a short break. We'll be right back.
batters well set. But as a batter, you never hit in these kind of surfaces because the odd ball to do something out of the ordinary, and then you find yourself losing wickets in the cluster. So important, yes, there's too much time left in the test match, but it's a very healthy and a strong lead, 249. And if Bangladesh can manage, I will repeat myself, if they can manage to add 50 or even 100, even more, then it is going to be even more difficult for Pakistan because I reckon Bangladesh have got the strength in the bowling department to take the rest of the 10 wickets when they come out to bowl. But first thing first, they need to add as many runs as possible because time is in their hands.
Right. Right. And Sikandar, as you were saying, that there are moments which need to be taken, capitalized on, and what's a chance was of Liton Dash, that run-out opportunity. And he certainly wrote that luck also, Liton Dash.
Well, it's easy for us to sit up here and say, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. But really, if you can face a ball in 0.5 seconds and decide your shot, and you can actually take your time to aim at the stump. This is a couple of days ago where he gloved it and well, the appeal went, the umpire missed it. This is a missed opportunity of a catch. But this run out surely would have done because Little had given up. But Robert didn't take it any time. He just hold his phone, load up, and but like I said, sitting up here, saying it is very easy. But when you're out there, I mean, you need to be game aware. You need to be right on the money and know that this is my opportunity. Getting wickets in the regular way is getting very tough. There are these chances.
And speaking of momentum, also from you, do you think not taking those chances as a partnership thriving, would the Pakistan dressing room feel a sense of pressure, or would they still believe that, look, there's plenty of time left, go out there and take the wickets?
No, of course they'll be under pressure. I mean, there's 249 right now, and like he said, I mean, and why not add 100 more? The only thing is when they come out to bat, what they can see from this partnership is that yes, batting is still not impossible out here, and he's been at the pitch closer to most of us, and there are no demons out there. So the senior batters from Pakistan will have to put their hand up and say, okay, fine, Babar or Salman and Rizwan, and we can put up a fight. Pakistan is not going to look at whenever their opportunity comes, they'll bat 2 days and not get the score. Either you're going to lose this game or you're going to put up a fight and get the result.
Thank you, Sikandar Bakht and Azhar Ali Khan, for joining us. Well, plenty to play for. This is the moving day. Done with the first session, 2 more remaining and 2 more days to follow. It's a straight drive, turn your investments into lifestyle.
Laid out the ऊपर only 22 line good good
सेमी पेस के साथ
stands in this test match, the Dutch-Bangladesh Test Series. 278 posted by Bangladesh thanks to the scintillating knock of 126 by Liton Kumar Das. Pakistan had bits and pieces but really could not catch up, and the Bangladesh lead now extended to 249. The most important cog in the wheel is that man in picture. 3 boundaries in this compilation of 48 runs and still going strong. A little lucky with the chance of a run out, but you take your luck and you work on it and you grind and ensure that you get up in terms of the understanding with your partner who's on 39, Mushfiqur. Fantastic slop sweep ball, an over boundary. Lot of work, lot of circumspection, lot of thinking on the part of the Pakistanis. They have to come with all cylinders firing because they need to break this partnership if they're going to make an impression in this innings. And a lot of problems right at this moment for the skipper.
There's a bit of kachra in the cylinder right now. And I think they've got to clear the clock somehow to make sure that the cylinders are firing. The start of a new session, and well, Pakistan would be hoping that something happens. They tried extremely hard in that first session. Most part of that first session, they were equally engaged, and then it was Litton and Mushfiq's brilliance that took that session away from them.
It's going to be Khurram Shahzad. He's been impressive. He's bowled at an economy of 3.83. The problem has been overstepping. 5 no balls. It's one area he needs to be correcting. Bowls with a lot of heart, not too much support. There has been some movement off the seam, having much in the air. Bowls within himself. Here we go. Off luck. Nicely eased away wide of the fielder. Thought of going for a run, but decided the sense prevailed and didn't go for it.
Well, spare a thought for Khurram Shahzad because his bowled his heart out 3 for 46, but his pace has dropped down because it's been extensive gig for him, albeit in phases, but it takes a lot out of you. I mean, it's the pressure plus, to do well, ball after ball. You see that grunt being louder and louder.
And the speed's getting lower and lower. So your mind is saying something, your body is not really reacting to it, giving it all, but what he's done is keep it tight. That is very good from him so far.
Yeah, crunching, still trying. That's the best he can do. It's a run-saving field of Pakistan. Know the importance of not making extra runs, but they continue to flourish by rotation off strike. This really is good batting.
When you come out from any kind of a break, particularly an extended break like the lunch and interval, you tend to just lose your focus somewhat, go into the cool of the dressing rooms. It's darker there, it's cooler there, not out in the mucky, humid atmosphere that we've got to face. So the first couple of overs will take a little getting adjusted to after the break. Knowing the demeanor and the manner in which the two batters approach their innings and so cool about it, don't think they're going to have much of a problem. Still, a little bit of doubt always after a break. Look at the ease with which he plays that cover drive. 20th Test 50 with that boundary for Liton Kumar Das.
What a great way to reach a milestone without breaking sweat, without breaking stride. Just another phenomenal piece of batting from Litton Das. What a test match he's had. In bowling friendly weather on a surface that had a lot of grass, is into 100 and now a 50.
One area he might think of improving is the conversion from the 50s to the 100s. 20, 50, 600s only. But that's something that you'd like to correct. Done one in the previous innings and more, possibly another one coming in this one.
Shamim, I like the way he is, actually, because you see, at that position, you've got to be a go-getter, a disruptor, a game snatcher, whatever you want to call him. And I like the way he bats, actually. There's so much of promise and talent. And you're right, I mean, you want to see more of Litton Das. I can understand the value that he has from viewing point of view, from talent point of view, but I think it seems that he's uninterested at times, that there's so little challenge for him that he peaks and then his focus is off to a 9 for 4.
Man of the moment, Liton Kumar Das, 53 of 68, 4 fours. It's the manner in which he's rotated the strike with his partner Mushfiqur. Just a 16 runs from boundaries. That tells you the whole story about how diligently they've gone around using the whole park to get their runs. Lead now 255, getting tougher for Pakistan. Desperately in search of a breakthrough here. Target into 16th over, one maiden. But still hasn't been able to extract too much purchase. As I said, he gets the ball to turn. Quite sharply there.
Making an effort to flight the ball and maybe create that gap between bat and pad, asking the batsman to go for that extravagant drive. It's not such a great line on middle and leg stump. That's his go-to line, in fact, because he's so much front on that eventually the ball ends there.
With a ball short-legged position, and particularly Mushfiqur on strike, you feel just pitching outside the line of off stump and maybe rearing up. Might not turn, but surprise him with the bounce. It's easy to negotiate, just opening the face softly enough. And the amble run taken.
But Shazad has gone out. He was not 100%, after bowling the first ball. Was limping slightly. Then Mamulak is in as a sub.
So easy, so simple. To just milk the runs. With the turn not sharp enough to bother the batters, and just picking their spots quite comfortably. 212 for 4. try and break this threatening partnership. Bangladesh will be pretty happy with the position they are in now. Mohammad Abbas, now for his 15th. That's what you expect from a tight line only.
Pakistan could have tried a short pitch strategy against Litton Das, but problem is that the bowlers, the fast bowlers, are not pacey enough to tease and test him. I mean, they've been glimpses of how good he has been. Plenty of time to play the pull and the hook shot. But one strategy where he could have been asked few questions. Remember that he had gloved one in the first innings when he was on 52. Got a massive reprieve and Pakistan were down and out because they didn't call for a DRS. But otherwise, you know, it has been smooth sailing for him. So much in control. Even when he's played the pull shot, he's looked to be in control. But it could have been something different from Pakistan. You get 4 or 5 men on the leg side. And he probably wouldn't have stopped himself because he's got so much of talent and belief in his batting that he would have taken the short ball on. And thereby creating a window of opportunity for Pakistan. Almost forgot that he was caught after scoring that great 100 at deep backward square leg of an attempted pull shot.
Different strategy when it comes to bowling to Mushfiqur. I think, and now with the ball in the 56th over has softened a bit, and the pace, as you mentioned, not quite there.
Yeah, that was the edge. First innings, clubbed it. Half-hearted appeal by Pakistan. They didn't go for a review. So that was that.
He's had a bit of problem prior to the luncheon break. He's flexing his fingers and there's a little discomfort shown. Mushfiq is so good at nudging and pushing. He'll allow the ball to come to you, wait till the last moment. Gauging the pace of the ball, it's just 125 clicks from Abbas. Not very threatening in terms of pace. Concerns for Rizwan.
Yeah, that's the pull shot. And yeah, I mean, he got there and could have been caught. Would have been a great catch. But I think that would have been a good strategy had they persisted with that length. But as I mentioned earlier, just didn't have enough pace really to tease and kind of taunt him for 15-20 minutes even. I think Abbas is not renowned for bowling bouncers. Khurram Shahzad, well, in his earlier spell, he was a little bit more pacey than 123 and 125, which he has been today. So Khan Masood, from tactical point of view, regarding that strategy, was a bit handcuffed.
At the moment, just making batting look very simple, these two in the middle. 214 for 4. Well, his pace and variations could come in handy, but he's sitting in the sidelines watching the Pakistanis suffer in the field at the moment. Tough times ahead. Something has to go in favor of the bowling unit to make a dent in this comfortable manner that Bangladesh are going at the moment. No turn per se, nothing vicious, so easy to play out. The frustration compounded by the stubborn resistance from Mushfiqur in particular, 42 of 90. Never said die attitude.
I don't know whether Bangladesh should fear for inclement weather and remain ahead of the game. That's a nice shot. Pedal swing for a run. 100-run partnership is raised. Terrific effort by the two batters out there. So I don't know whether you can play for rain at this stage, whether they should be thinking about keeping it a 4-day test match instead of 5. Some teams could have, but Bangladesh right now are more keen to maybe get this lead to 300 and beyond.
Absolutely, I think that's the target in the back of their minds. Yeah, that kind of a position where they're not being tested per se and they're finding things easy. The lead now 261. That could be another 100 runs lead before they finish the innings one way. Now. Catch it is the call. Very annoyed with himself. Sajid Khan.
I think he's dropped him again. There's a cry of anguish, of frustration. And this was a lot simpler compared to the first one, which was absolutely crunched. Back at him, this was a flick. And Sajid could have done a lot better than that, and he's himself to be blamed. Cotton bowls, you should hang on to it.
More often than not, it's the bowlers very adept at taking return catches, and that seemed reasonably straightforward. Struck truly to another life for a man who's been threatening, and that could just be a bit of luck that he needed. He's got it twice. He's almost run out earlier, and that cotton bowl attempt missed. Tough times, you create the opportunity but can't take advantage. 218 for 4. Partnership keeps on churning out the runs. Bit of good fortune in the previous over for Litan Kumar Dash. The second time he's got it. Say fortune favors the brave.
It's been like the James Bond at the crease, living dangerously.
He has, hasn't he? In the first innings, he got all those lives and the misreading the DRS on occasion that went in his favor. Just so frustrating for the bowlers.
He doesn't have an elongated follow-through as well. He's pretty steady after bowling that and tried it with both hands. Could have done a much better job than that.
This thing on his mind, you can see that. He'll have a sleepless night if Litan Kumar Dash goes on to score big runs. Quicker through the air, opening the face deliberately, and getting a couple quite comfortably.
There's one slip in place. There's a wide gully, to be not such a risky shot on the bounce. Well blocked, partly blocked by Salman Ali. They bat well together as a pair. 8th time that they've got a 100+ partnership.
The backbone of the innings. Drifting down leg. Just will be annoyed with himself, I think. Riton Kumar Das on that occasion. Opportunities to put it away. Fine behind square.
This fast bowling attack has been fair, to say the least. They've tried their best, but just do not have the pace. So moving forward, I think Shan Masood will have to reset the button and maybe look for a tear-away fast bowler. Here's one. That one slid through. He's largely been on a mute today behind the stumps. Not as expressive. It's been consumed by thoughts. I don't know. I mean, it's a very unlike Rizwan appearance behind the stumps.
Suppose it's the situation of the game. Tend to really play on your mind and subdue you. Can't you be your effervescent self all the time? Reflects from the demeanor of the players around you too.
With a basic fast bowler, you can then have offer him options with different style of attack. But with this lot, it's about discipline and line and length and working away, hoping that the fielders could do a job. But then you meet somebody like Liton Das, it's almost impossible to dismiss. Someone is bowling around 126 and 128.
Football. Huge conundrum for Shan Masood to dislodge this pair up to 106, the partnership. Shocking proportions it has reached. The manner in which they're negotiating the balls, very comfortable in the middle. Chances have been created. Go back to that run-out opportunity that was missed and that cotton ball attempt a couple of overs back when Sajid Khan could not hang on to a chance, but this is the bowling so far. It's been tough work. Shahzad Khurram Shahzad back in the hutch for the moment. Problems for the captain.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward, I think he's got to look for options in the playing 11. I mean, he's largely been playing with this kind of a bowling attack. Addition of Noman in the bowling attack at home on square turners. That's played away fine, and South Shakil should get around it, slide, and a stop. I think Shan Masood will have to set the tone. How he wants to play test match cricket. A bit like Shanto. Shanto has taken a lead in this. Because Shanto has opted for basic wickets. But he's got Nahid Rana and a couple of others to back up his plans. But Shan Masood with medium pace stuff, even though he's given a green surface, it's not going to really move the needle a lot. That's gone up in the air and away from Hassan Ali. And I think think this team is defined by the gap. Mentioned it earlier, this game is still run by a leader, not by the coaching staff from the sidelines. They're there as a supportive hand, nothing more than that. Miscuing that one, Littendas, getting it a bit edgy. Should get on with it.
I just want to ask you, what's in the kitty? What's in the grassroots? What's coming up? Because we're talking about Shan Masood trying to fix and get some pace bowlers in. What's in the pipeline?
Couple of fast bowlers. They are making the headlines, more so in white ball cricket. But you've got to think out of the box. I think this situation demands them to take that risk. Take a punt. Make that all-important call. It may work, it may not work, but at least would have taken the risk. I think this is, based on a safe bet, this playing 11. Particularly the bowlers that they've picked. Abbas is a dutiful worker, dutiful horse, whatever you want to call it. And then you've got Sajid, who's an honest trier. Hassan Ali is up and down. And superb shot. Didn't even run for that one. It is met with full force. Brilliant, elegant stuff. 229 for 4.
Runs aplenty for Bangladesh. Third day, the lead now 275 runs. Huge concerns. The crowds are happy here, up in the grassy banks, enjoying some cool breeze, no sunshine to keep them too hot. Lovely time. Have a look at the last ball of the previous over. Just a full face of the mat team. Deliberately played it over the top, right away, straight as an arrow. Delectable shot. Oozing with confidence. Confidence from the Pakistani bowlers rather lacking at the moment. How the whole cricketing world has changed. Look at this, just touch cricket. That is deft touch. Beautiful. Opening the face, just a little face open by the bowler. Lovely angle to take it through to the boundary.
And it's a 50 up for Abbas as well. Well, what you call an educated edge. I don't know what that means, but it appeared to be an intellectual glide and an edge, as if he wanted it. Philosophical edge.
Philosophical push there. Next ball, sensible. Let's make it simpler. But just how the whole cricketing world has changed. We're talking about the battery of pace bowlers in Bangladesh, and you're searching with a lamp for pace bowlers in Pakistan, where they've churned out the paces.
Yeah, I mean, they are there, but it's just that you've got to be a brave heart. I mentioned earlier that, engage someone young and exciting. You took that risk by introducing 2 captains in this series. You knew exactly what lay before you. Grassy surfaces, Nahid Rana with pace, and company as well. And so you introduced Azana West and Puzzle. And they've not been bad at all. So you throw them at the deep end, and you identify the talent, of course, and then you've got to back them to the hilt. But this bowling attack is based on safety and security more than just running through the side. Abbas will always be an honest trier. Shansha Afridi's is off color. And we saw that he was up and down in the first test match, so he's benched. Some of these guys are not test match fit also. I mean, you've seen Khurram Shahzad, how his speed has been reduced. He's still off, Khurram Shahzad. Just pulled 1 over after the break and he's gone, sir. I mean, there are fitness issues, form issues.
Add mental pressure to all that. The situation of the game made it even worse for the mindset. And when you're a little confused with what to do, it can really affect your performance. I give it to Abbas. More often than not, he'll bowl the tight line and length, and don't give it to a guy who's bowled 17 overs in this heat to err in line once in a while. It's just the manner in which the two batters have waited patiently for the loose balls to come along and then try to get the quick runs.
The problem is, Shamim, that you're bowling at 123 kilometers an hour and 127.7 kilometers an hour. Even you're moving the ball around. I mean, good batsmen will figure it out.
Easy as they come. No issues there. Negotiating that last ball. 233 for 4.
Lead and the wicket score still shows 4. So 233 for 4, second innings for Bangladesh. Jag or Pakistan not been able to get wickets or grab those opportunities that have come their way. Run out chance, a cotton ball. And after that wicket this morning, Shanto, they've just been on the receiving end. Another landmark being approached. Mushfiqur reaching another test match 50. 1 away. That should be it. And he'll come back for the second. Mushfiqur 30th test match 50 and counting.
Yeah, Mr. Dependable once again showing what he is capable of. Round of applause from the skipper and his teammates. And what an important knock one more time. Partnership worth now 121. Averaging nearly 40. 30, 50, 13 test match hundreds. And you can see how this game progresses, and all of a sudden you see that nothing is happening for the bowlers. Yep, deft touch. Just played it softly and late. Shanto out of the dressing room. The dugout also clapping. Why not? This effort from this pair can turn out to be a match-winning one. We'll have to wait and see. 52 of 104.
Post lunch, their run rate has also gone up. They're scoring at over 4.5 runs an over. 4.65 to be precise. Overall run rate. Healy's run rate has also pushed up, almost reaching 4. So, not just about not being able to get wickets, not being able to stop runs either.
Come on.
Extension 123 now, this partnership. Now, Shanta's in a position where he can just call his shots, whatever mood he is in. He's 238 for 4.
इसी प्यार इश्क और मोहब्बत से तीन पुनीत से परफॉर्म करने आ रहे हैं दो क्यूटी जिसमें है रेमोसर की बेटी संचिता एंड सुब्रतो। दुनिया के 7 अजूबों में से एक अजूबा है भारत का ताजमहल। ये एक ऐसा अजूबा है जिसकी नींव प्यार ने बनाई है तो बना ये पत्थरों से, लेकिन इसको पहचान इश्क ने दी। वो इश्क जो तब भी था आज भी है और जिंदगी भर रहेगा। 7 अजूबों में से एक अजूबा
100 or more 7 times, which also equals
7 अजूबों में से एक अजूबा इंडिया यानी कि भारत का ताजमहल है जिसके पीछे बॉलीवुड की अभिनेत्रियों ने पैसों के लिए फोटो से शाम
जैसे चीट और चीटर आदमी को क्यों परवाह होने लगी अपनी इज्जत की? तुम्हारी मरने से पहले मैं निकाह करना चाहती हूँ।
मारने से पहले और मेरी आखिरी सांस निकलने तक ये देश हिंदुस्तान का नेशनल एंथम बजना चाहिए।
I guess it resigned to the fact that attack is not an option now. Let's go and stop the people runs. But the partnership drafting as we just saw 3 times against Pakistan in 2021 and 2024 and now 2026 they figure like the worst is.
มานั่งมันกระหนักใจเลย
You
สู้
can
สู้
see
จริง
tired
เรีย
legs.
อะไร
Came in with
จะสู้ใจ
we
แต่สุด
hope
ท้าย
that they'll get more than 1 wicket in that first session. Didn't happen.
ก็สุดท้าย
Then there came 2 opportunities I can recall. One a run out for Ezekas and then a got goal chance. 54 less than lucky.
Pure class.
Scoring areas, and you see it's pretty much evenly spread out, especially with those ones and twos. It just tells you that he's made life difficult for Sean Muscle in terms of placing the fielders and blocking those runs. After that 126 from his bat in the first innings, he's just looking unstoppable. And why not if you keep dropping him? Yeah, it is a call, and it just goes right there in the fielder place. Saul Shakil takes the catch, and Hassan Ali finds the breakthrough here. A shorter delivery trying to wrap that, especially that fielder at deep third. Very, very fine place for that, and the plan has worked.
I'm really sorry.
He's been batting for a while and he thought that he could put that away. There's the right shot, the uppercut. But then he realized there's a fielder there.
That I missed it. But I
Loud Shakil picks the catch and look at his reaction. They had to wait a very long time to dislodge this partnership.
despite
Finally,
physical and mental challenges
they
that I
managed to
lost
send
my
back
stronger
Mitun
and
Das
more determined.
for
And
69.
someone who refused
Bangladesh 238 for 5.
के लिए जलेबी लेके आया हूँ। मैंने सुना था आपको बहुत पसंद है। आपको जलेबी पसंद है? टेढ़ी सी डिश पसंद है आपको? कहाँ से आया? मैं मुंबई से ही हूँ। और मेरी माँ ने कहा था कुछ शुभ काम करने से पहले मीठा खाना चाहिए। कौन सा शुभ काम कर रहे हो? मैं श्रद्धा को प्रपोज मांगा। रितेश इस फिल्म में एक मराठी कैरेक्टर निभा रहे हैं और रितेश खुद महाराष्ट्र से बिलोंग करते हैं। नरगिस जो है वो शी
certainly a sigh of relief for Pakistan captain to see the back of Lytton Das. Another hurdle approaches. Mehdi Hasan Miraz got a test 100. He gave company to Mushfiqur. Then Pakistan will have to really think of a plan how to attack the batter was new at the crease. Really have to focus on him now. Cannot afford to carry on with it. This the ramp shot there. The plan worked.
Yes, the short pitch delivery that has worked in their favour. But it took a long time. It's a very good catch. Had to go to his right.
If you go on a date with a very much desi guy.
The other option was he could have left it alone.
That maybe I met you.
But he went after it.
Then my Hindi would be better.
He thought it went all the way, but no. Finds the fielder in the third. So Hassan Ali breaks the partnership.
Yeah, the man is still there, Saud Shakil. You call it a fly slip, or you call it a very, very fine kick third. There you can see just to the right of the wicket keeper.
I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You love till 10, I will start from 11.
Yeah, he was in that position, the fly slip. But then when the ball that he played, Nitin Kumar, he had to run to his right.
वो मुझे लगता है हमको यहीं पर देखना है.
Working in his favor. There's also one at a deep point. So there are two fielders, one at the fly slip away the deep and also the deep point.
Oh, that was very, very close. Not really sure what Mushfiqur was trying. He was making room to open up that offside and then just opens the face of the bat. That was very close to Salman's diving hands. End of the over, 239 for 5.
This is very romantic.
This is not romantic. We didn't pay our electricity bill. Cut. तो क्या वो भी इतनी क्रिटिकल है आपके?
अरे बाप रे.
तो जैसे
अरे बाप रे. बहुत क्रिटिकल है.
मायरा की बात कर रहे हैं.
दोनों बहुत ही क्रिटिकल. और आजाद भी ये लोग बहुत ही क्रिटिकल है मेरे काम को लेकर.
क्योंकि तो ये भी रहता है ना कि जैसे पता नहीं आपके लेवल पे पर बहुत ज्यादा लोग फिल्म बनाते हैं.
He just lost a wicket of Lytton Das after lunch. And now things are steering up and you find the fielders a little more talkative. The captain now bringing in a few fielders closing. Sajid has got the ball in hand.
तो क्या वो भी
Yeah, let's have a look at what really Mushfiqur was trying to do. He just got himself squared up there. Just past those diving hands of Salman. But that trigger movement, very unlike Mushfiqur. I beg your pardon, that was Miraz. I think he was just trying to put the bowler off. Just that trigger movement, look at that. Reminds me of Fawad Azam and Chandrapur Lakeshri having a stance like that. And then it's followed him, so he suddenly realizes it's too close to his body and just opens the face.
It's strange to see him back in that fashion. I've never seen that from Mehdi Hasan Miraz. He's got back to his basics now.
That can happen when you're sitting in the dressing room wearing those pads and helmet for over 2 hours, waiting for your opportunity, and you have a partnership by an interview of 123. He's maybe trying to put Hassan Ali off with those shorter deliveries. And the over, it's 239 for 5. तुमने मुझे पेन दे दिया मेरी जब कार की नहीं I don't know why continue Ananya please आप आंसर करो यार I don't want to disturb you
शकील कमाल करेंगे तुमको कैसे पता चला हम गाँव का है तुम्हारी शक्ल पे दिख रहा है कोई सोते में दिख गया वैसे तुम
The bottom part of that table is important 285 lead that's what Pakistan is looking at managed to get 2 wickets today, one in each session.
Now he has opened one end and what Pakistan would like to do here to wrap up the innings. A new batter in the middle, yes, it might be a little bit more difficult for the bowlers to take the wicket of Mushfiqur Rahim. But it's important that they go into an attacking mindset when especially Vegas and Miraj is on strike.
He's got 4 men. He's got a deep third, a deep backward point, and then on the onside he's got a deep fine leg and a deep backward square leg. So 4 men are waiting behind the square for the shorter ball. And if he tries to pull one, or if he tries to ramp one, or Mushfiqur Rahim.
Well, then you need to bowl on the shorter side. You've seen the bowlers from both teams, and the difference is quite right in front here in terms of speed. Shiva's distance, average speed. Rana, 143. Shariful, 133. Taskin, 132. So top 3 are all from Bangladesh. That has been the difference. That has been the major difference in this test match. In terms of the results they've produced with those kind of deliveries, bowling at 143 makes a huge difference. I heard Ramesh speaking about it in that last stint that he did. So it's important, I think it's important for Umar Gul, the team management, to find someone who can bowl consistently at 140 or nearabouts. And if they did that, perhaps the result would have been quite different from what it is at this stage of the game. Let's fix it up. So even for Mendes and Miraj, when he comes on strike, you see the same feel. He's just come on to bat. They're thinking that he's going to take the alien route on the onside because there's deep square leg, there's deep mid wicket. Deep mid wicket for Hassan Ali, for Mendes and Miraj. I'm not sure whether that's the right call.
We're talking about bowlers who can bowl consistently thereabouts 140. There are bowlers back home, but the problem is they're back home. We've spoken about Ali Raza, who's he bowls in the excess of 145 plus consistently. He can reach up to 150. Played first class, waiting for his opportunity to be called in. Another short one. And there are a few more, we'll talk about them. It's 241 for 5.
इस गाने का बीच का पार्ट वहां से दो जी हाँ अनु मलिक जी ने उनका इस्तेमाल बाजीगर से एक बार
Highest successful chase by Pakistan in Test cricket 377 2015, 342 2022. The one that we will be looking at is also against Bangladesh. Bangladesh. But they've done it. They've done and changed 300 or more. So everybody from the team and also the Pakistani fans will be keeping a very close eye at the lead. Now Bangladesh lead by 287. But if you have done this in the past, but you also need to know where they've done it. 377 is the highest chase. That was done away from home. Balotelli, gone. 342. At home, yes, Karachi. But Sharjah, Wellington, even Mumbai, again at home. Cut away. Will come back for an easy two. Yes, they chased again. 261, but that was at home. Different conditions here. So what will they be happy with chasing? Sikanda?
Well, less of the better. We're looking at the most recent one, 342 in 2022 against Sri Lanka at goal. Then Pakistan can look at and believe that yes, that's pretty recent. Anything goes now above 300 is all. Really depends. The thing is, this time available is only the third day. We come back. 65 overs if we bowl, 243 for 5. That's the story so far. 289 is the lead. Now, Shanto is running up his mind. He's also looking at the fact that he's got 2 days and a session available after this. It's not just about how many are enough, 289 right now, it's about how much time is available.
This time it's Mushfiqur again. Solid as a rock. Quite clear in his mindset. The way he handled himself, he likes to put that under pressure. And that has been the story of his life. He likes that challenge. Wow, beautiful clip. And he knows the importance to contribute when it comes on to bat under trying conditions. Again, putting his hand up. 1% test matches also. Again, shouldering the responsibility. There you go. First test, 71.
पॉलिटिशियन का बड़े आप मजेदार लग रहे थे. आप अगर रियल लाइफ में पॉलिटिक्स आ जाए तो आपको लगता है कि संपूर्ण देश की सारी लड़कियों का वोट आप ही को मिलेगा. अगर पॉलिटिक्स में आना नहीं तो अच्छा आना ही नहीं चाहते. अदरवाइज तो विरोधी पार्टियों की बेटियां भी पापा बड़े साल हो गए आपको आज अर्जुन का वोट है.
And there's one backing him up right behind him. Keep back to squarely.
Something also viewers would like to know the amount of times that each matches so far, including this 6 test matches played at this venue, Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. And the 4th inning scores in Sylhet has been on the lowest side. That's how we scored his runs. That's his wagon wheel. Similar amount on either side. Very risky, isn't it? The 4th innings, teams have not scored too many. Oh, that's a terrific delivery. That's making sure that it listens to some chin music.
Yeah, that's a ball saying good afternoon. Welcome to the crease. That was sharp. Rapidly moved out of the way. Kept following him there. Did extremely well, Virat. Just at the last moment. Asking for something. Nothing. End of the over. 244 for 5.
Thank you so much, sir.
honest designer or loyal partner नहीं मिलेगा of course partner हमें partner अगर आपको कोई ऐतराज है तो आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि हमारे पास काफी सारे ऑप्शंस हैं जो हमारा वेट करें देखिए उनके हमारी कंपनी को एग्री आपके साथ कार्य करने के लिए
ठीक है सर थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम
थैंक यू
किस चीज़ है किसको मालूम है
Lead to 90.
आपके चैनल का
तो ठीक है लेकिन अभी भी बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है अगर हम मना करते थे तो नहीं हो पाता बाहर अभी के सारे पैसे खुद किए जाएंगे मैं तुम्हारी बॉस नहीं है तो मेरे बॉस आज मुझे क्लियर कर दो अगर कुछ सलाह मशवरा कर लेते पूछ लेते अपने बॉस से लेकिन
Good to know you are people that bouncer.
तुम्हारी खैर ना होती
You all should cut it, but it's the bouncer. And again, this scoop from Mushfiqur in control. Have a closer look at this. Yeah, nothing on the bat. Just the 4 times the teams have batted in the 4th innings at this venue. The first time it was in 2018. No, that was the first test match. It was against Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe set the Bangladesh target of 321. And they brought them out for 169, so they won. Inaugural test match at this venue. And then in 2023, target was 332. New Zealand bowled out for 181. 2024, target was a huge one for Bangladesh. 511. They only managed 182, and in Sri Lanka a big win. And in 2025, target 174. And Zimbabwe went on to win that particular test match by 3 wickets, 174 for 7. So the most scored in the 4th innings has been 182. And that's a problem. That's the challenge. Because lead now, Bill is like 2. It is at the moment 292. But that's the bigger challenge for Pakistan.
247 for 5. It's also drinks here in Sylhet.
आगे बढ़ने से पहले मैं अब
पूरी फिल्में की हैं, तो और बहुत कम ऐसे लोग होंगे जिनको उनके साथ 3-3 फिल्में करने का मौका मिला।
Bangladesh leading by 293 runs.
कलाकार इंस्टीट्यूशन है अपने आप
And 2 wickets fell today as Hussein Shah was the first one. That was in the first session. Khuram Shahzad getting the better of Shanto. Looked to play across, but all in red. Good decision on field as well. And that gave them hope. And Masood trying to boost the confidence, and then the partnership was broken just like this. The short ball, Floyd working. Taking the bait, Liton Dash, and good catch in the deep by Saul Shakib.
Well, it took them 25 overs to realize that there was another strategy that could work, which was the short pitch strategy. Talked about it earlier also. Maybe they didn't have enough pace really to pull it off, but somehow Hassan Ali produced that delivery. And Linda's expression suggested that he didn't really figure out whether there was a deep fielder there. So he thought it was a safe shot. Bangladesh hold all the cards. 293 runs ahead and counting. And so there's a massive safety net in the shape of Mushfiqur. Miraj can be the clever operator out there. You know, he can experiment. He's allowed to do that. Wouldn't want to say that he could be the clown in this partnership. That'd be a bit harsh, but you know, someone who could be disruptive. Well, Pakistan would be wondering how on earth they didn't catch up to Bangladesh's 278. I mean, that was such a doable job. It wasn't as if they were chasing 400. I think that's been the area where they've suffered, and as a result, handed Bangladesh a prime position, a prime post in this test match also.
They're taking nothing away from the partnership between Liton Dash and Mushfiqur Rahim. That classy 100 from Liton Dash in the first innings, but Pakistan here sniffs something. They'll be happy to have Miraz back on strike. That's the end they'll be targeting, because one more wicket that exposes Bangladesh's tail.
He was caught in the first innings playing the pull shot, so I think the trap has been set. Alright, let's keep a close look on the leg side fielders here. So you've got a straightish kind of a big wicket, then you've got a short leg and a leg slip and a square leg fielder. There we go then. Bumper strategy. And it's ready beforehand to duck. It was a pretty instinctive shot from him in the first innings. Khuram Shahzad there bouncing him out. Very good catch in the deep. So maybe a recall moment for everyone. For Miraj also not to play this kind of a shot again, and for Pakistan also to keep on hammering that leg.
Going for two, continuously urging Mushfiqur Rahim to come back for the second. Yeah, the strategy is quite evident from Hassan Ali, and so far he's managed to take the wicket of Liton Dash, and it has worked.
So what happens from bowling point of view is that if you keep on hitting that deck hard, like Hassan Ali has been, it kind of gets you to sort of produce the spell with a faster arm, and your wrist is also behind the ball as well. So this was a strategy that worked in the end. You know, 3 bumpers, 4th one as well, 5. Well, the fun continued for Hassan Ali. And then finally, he felt Lindas had enough of it and hit it right where the fielder was sit up. There's good bit of strategy from Pakistan. So what happens when you start hitting the deck hard is that actually you rediscover yourself. Because you, from a floater, certainly, you become someone who's hitting the deck hard, and so everything improves, you know, your wrist work, your force behind the ball, you're completing the action as well. And so Hassan Ali's pace has gone up a bit as well. There's been an effort spell, a spell that Pakistan needed.
जिस तरह मैं सोचता हूँ जॉइंट फैमिली के बारे में जॉइंट फैमिली वो
There was a conversation between Captain Shah Masood and Hassan Ali, but that is on the left of your screen. Since lunch, the bouncer percentages have gone up. 67% bouncer since lunch. Awkward timing, right after lunch. Come and play some chin music. And he continues. And while we were having a look at that package, the replays of the bouncers every side, couldn't help but notice the line also. It's constantly peppered that fourth stump, fifth stump line. Some have come into the right-handed batter, some have gone away. Hence those fielders at square leg, like prompting the batter to go for the pull from outside the off and maybe get a top edge. Slight change in the field now.
90 के दशक का दौर था बॉलीवुड में नए चेहरों की एंट्री हो रही थी लेकिन एक आवाज ऐसी थी जिसने आते ही इंडस्ट्री का
remove that, slip in a gully.
So that is what a bumper strategy can do to your makeup, you know, so you forget where your off-stump is because you're wondering whether it's going to be another bouncer. So it's all trying to do with mucking up your mindset.
वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो सब्सक्राइब जरूर
Well,
करें।
I mean, 250 for 5, Miraj can be a bit erratic, I mean, if that's the word for him, because Bangladesh are nicely positioned, almost 300 runs in front.
And then the short one again to end the over. 250 for 5 Bangladesh.
I love you.
I love you too. आप हमारे घर आएंगे?
आप लोग मेरे घर आएंगे।
अच्छा।
अच्छा।
अरे वाह, उधर गेंडा भी है ना बड़ा देखने गए। वो ऐसा गेंडा है ना बड़ा बड़ा गेंडा।
आदिश्री को मुंबई में थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं लगता है उसको उसके खेतों की याद आती है
मेरा मुंबई से बैग चोरी हो गया सर आपने अभी तक बैग नहीं लाया आपने अभी तक
अरे बैग के लिए मैंने बोला है सब लोगों को 4-5 बैग मिला है
Like from soothing select. Has a calming effect. I think it sets it up nicely as the test match is starting out.
पूरा बैग नहीं देखो मैंने बोल तो दिया है बैग लाने को अगर बैग मिल गया तो जरा लेके आके दिखाओ बच्चे को कि उसका बैग है तो थोड़ा और अच्छा लगने लगेगा मुंबई और जिसने भी लिया बिल्कुल बहुत बुरा काम किया
Budget's role is going to be about conservation. So Hassan Ali is attacking. He's got to make sure that he doesn't leak runs. The scenario changes just a wee bit now that Miraj is on strike. I think the ideal line would be to bowl from wider off the stumps, yeah, somewhere there. Make it drive to the offside.
Those fielders on the onside we were seeing. Looking for a quick single. Throw comes in, but I think he made it. On time, did Miraj.
Always throw at the 39-year-old striker zone. And Mushfiqur was struggling. There's a bit of ball watching. He was off and Mushfiqur, well, he was off, but you know, throw was at the wrong end. Sprightly Miraj being puzzled.
One of his strengths. That whole running incident of that game, it
लगेगा ना फिर से
originated from Virat. Looks slightly jittery.
के पीछे के 5 मिनट रेस्टिंग
Does
से पहले
have
पहला किस्सा जब
2 test stunts in his son Virat.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था यार कि बाहर
One of them coming against Zimbabwe last year, the other one against West Indies. Should he get back?
वैसे
batting, Bangladesh at batting. Brilliantly, they produced another very good innings, lead by 3. That's another psychological barrier that Pakistan will have to work out and cross.
अवार्ड फंक्शन कर रहे हैं इतना लंबा नाम है इसका मैं बोल भी नहीं सकता शादी नहीं है शादी में नहीं है फंक्शन है डिनर नहीं कर रहे हैं any last question that
Easy pickings for Mushfiqur Rahim. 5 runs of this Sajid Khan over, 255 for 5.
बच्चन साहब मिले नमस्ते जी नमस्ते बैठे तो हमने वो बच्चन साहब को बोला पिक्चर मेरे बोले करेंगे तो बोले मैं क्या सबका सरप्राइज हो गया 1 मिनट में अमिताभ बच्चन ने पीक पीरियड मैं भी अपने आप में कैसे बोलता क्या समझता हूँ कभी नीचे समझेंगे साला क्या आपने
अभी डायरेक्टर साहब हैं मैं बिल्कुल प्रिपेयर नहीं हूँ भाई
That's the lead now for Bangladesh.
Trust me
5 wickets in hand. Again, this is day 3 of the second test match of the 10 Bangladesh series. So, what's the number they will be happy with? Because if you're bowled out, Pakistan almost have 2 days in hand to chase whatever the target is.
It's not going to be an easy ride. I mean, we've been in that situation. I've been in that situation actually. So it is tough. Especially if you're Shan Masood. That's at the number 3 position. He's opened many times for Pakistan. It's going to be a rough ride. I don't think that he wants it. But somehow you've got to deal with it.
डेविड धवन और उनका कोलैबोरेशन आप उठा के देख लो और साथ में करिश्मा
If you're a Pakistani fan, it's been an awfully long test match. We are into the 3rd day. I'm already feeling like it's the 10th day of the test match. Pakistan has been under the cosh from the first ball. It seems.
Come on, Rohit, like that big.
Yeah, I mean, it appears that way. Obviously,
डेविड धवन और उनका
yours is a different feeling.
भगा भगा के हमारा ख्याल करा दिया और खुद बंदूक काट के मेरे कर ब्यूटी एट द बीस्ट
I'm asking the concerned people to get the weather map on the screen. And try to find a way out of this situation for Pakistan. Because rain was predicted for the entire 5 days. 100% rain. And look at the weather. I mean, it's a clear day once again, unfortunately. So if you're a Pakistani, obviously it's... I say that with a deep, sorrowful feeling that it's a beautiful clear day.
You're getting me all confused here.
I'm as confused. Because this was not supposed to be this series for Pakistan. They're up against the wall in the second test match also. Yeah, they're talking about a complete washout.
ये गाने उनके पास गाने हैं जो कुमार सानू को जानने के लोग सुन ले
Maybe there's rain tomorrow or day after.
रणदीप कपूर को फिल्म में लेने का कोई सवाल नहीं उठता था जब मैंने रास्ता देखी थी पहले मैं चाहूँ इब्राहिम के साथ
Yeah, just met the ball by
ऐसे सन्नाटा से पूछा
extension of the arms. Not a convincing shot, but he'll take that boundary.
मूवी देखी रणदीप कपूर एक्टिंग नहीं कर रहे थे वो एक्टिंग कर रहे थे मगर वो फिल्मों में एक्टिंग नहीं कर रहे थे
Attempted to chase that
जिसका नाम था सुल्ताना था
outside, extending their arms and fortunate to find the gap.
मुझे अपने आप को पागल
Well, Don't believe these numbers. 74% humidity. Don't believe these numbers. Perhaps
No, I'm quite happy with the humidity. It feels like thing. I'm not batting out there. It's just that middle picture.
The second time मैं रणबीर
I want that cloud to burst.
साथ में बनाएं उसके बाद
Keep at it for 2 days.
एक कहानी सुनाने के लिए तो उसने
No, come on, it still could go either way.
कहानी सुनी है और उस
Still can.
एक रॉकस्टार होता
But just
उसने मुझे
telling you all the trend who are not insolent at the moment. It has been raining overnight. And even though the forecast suggests that there's going to be rain throughout the day, thankfully for cricket lovers, it hasn't.
तो उसने बोला ये पिक्चर नहीं बना रहे तो मैंने बोला अगर मैं बनाऊंगा तो तुम करोगे बोला हाँ
Pakistan, they felt thunder and lightning out there in the park. Full shot and a good shot for a run. 5 down for 2, 6, 3.
अरे आपने इनका गाना तो किया है मिर्ची लेके
वो इन्होंने गाया है वो तो गोविंदा सिंह ने गाया था ना
गोविंदा सर ने नहीं गाया है गोविंदा सर ने उसमें एक्टिंग किया है गाया इन्होंने है
सच्ची सर एक बार गा के दिखाओ ना ऐसे नहीं दे सकता
10 Bangladesh wickets on day 1, 13 wickets in total on day 2. And 2 so far in each of the sessions. The second session still ongoing. That is wonderful to see. Particularly with the little one, with the families that come in with the little ones as well. Will be spin, South Indian from the rocket end. Now, lead now, 310. And just speaking of numbers, we've been going through numbers. The lowest that Bangladesh have defended. 5 cases you take and all 5 of them have been above 200. In terms of that, taking statistically, trend-wise, you do have the feel-good factor as it stands. Overstepping. That's almost like a crime as a spinner. Speaking of those numbers, the latest of them was in Mirpur, trending 268. They have that bowling attack. It's just about the belief system and the Pakistan batting lineup maybe that just about clicking. And someone taking that lead in the dressing room.
Well, so far it's been a humbling experience for Pakistan. They've been grounded by Bangladesh. But it's just that in test match cricket you can never be sure what can happen next. So Pakistan may just rise from nowhere and feel that they've been embarrassed. So let's fight for our own self. Forget about what happens to the team effort. Because I mentioned it earlier, the team effort automatically improves. If you have that individual will and determination to be the hero. So if they're hurting, and I'm sure they are hurting, you've got to translate that hurt into performance. It's as simple as that.
As we were also having a look at the wickets that fell day-wise, 10 and 13, day 1 and day 2 respectively, and only 2 so far also proves the fact that this is one of the best days for having a bat out there.
Or it could prove that progressively this pitch becomes good for batting. So, 2.5 days of toughness, and maybe the last to end some hours of easy outing for batsmen. Who knows? That's gone fine and is well stopped. Imam ul Haq there putting in a grand effort. The subs are usually fresh, and this really was a fresh sprint and a very good save in the end. Yeah, it's a save and a clean contact with the ball. It's just different players and different occasions throughout the series have rose to the occasion for Bangladesh. Yeah, I mean, look at that scorecard and it suggests, like was the case in Pakistan, that batting becomes a bit easier for the middle order compared to the top order. When the ball gets soft, gets melted just a little bit, if that's a term to use, then obviously there's less sideways movement and you get more time at the crease. And so that's a no ball. So we saw a spinner bowling a no ball, and now it's Rohit Paudel bowling a no. But the idea is that if you get settled in, then it's got to be a long job for you. It has to be a long stint at the crease. It can't be a 50 odd and a 60 odd and then getting out. Oh, bowling! What a beauty that is! Brilliant! I don't know whether it's a legal delivery or not. We've got to pause a little. Umpire is also pausing. Yeah, it's a legal one. And he's gone through the defense there with a pitch. Mirage has been castled by a beauty. Wider of the stumps, angling it bad, and then shaping it away, turned him around. Yeah, staring down the pitch really was a superb delivery. First time he's picked up 8 wickets in his career, Khurram Shahzad. And it's got 19 and Bangladesh 6 down for 272.
When your children get married, you have to leave them alone. Now, I'm in the same building, but I don't go just like that. I want to give them their space. When they're free, they'll meet me. But I don't
Brought back to the attack, Khurram Shahzad comes in, second delivery, and bowls Mirage out. Wickets is the name of the game for Pakistan, and they've got it through this beautiful delivery from Khurram Shahzad that brings him back to Islam, who featured in that 60-run stand with Nidam Das in the first innings. Now, he has to do it with Mushfiqur. Well, I'm going to paint another scenario now. What if Bangladesh get out and Pakistan are to get 350 to win? I think they'll still feel they have an outside chance of making it happen. I mean, this really was a quality delivery. Wider of the stumps, angling it back and then taking it away. I mean, it had 3 angles. Just look at how it's shaped away. And that's the obvious kind of a reaction from the batsman also, because he saw that ball coming into the stumps and then ever so slightly, a mere inch or so was enough to castle it. In complete shock was Mirage. So when the non-strikers end, I don't think he had grounded his bat. Nigel to get the basics right. I think was just a little bit shy, thinking that there was no one backing up. And by the time I think the non-striker was in.
Maybe uses it.
We'll see. We'll see.
He do it.
But yes, what a delivery from Kurum Shahzad. They need a few more of that, and
चमची नीला है पड़ा वाला उसे.
no need to get disheartened as of yet because 350 and all still gettable.
Pakistan's best chance to get out of this situation is through the weather. Rain.
Nah, they're better than that.
Considering what has transpired before us in this test series, yeah, obviously, I mean, it can still happen, but it'll be some run chase, and if they get over the line, 319 and counting. You see, it's not only the technical bit, but it's the mental bit, more the mental bit, you know, how scarred you are. What are you thinking as a group, you know, what's the dugout environment, atmosphere like? Has there been any wear and tear? And that happens when you're at the receiving end. It's so difficult for a captain to keep the bunch together.
Good piece of fielding. A short mid wicket. Does well, does unawares.
It's a very nice stop. And you want these young kids to be working hard as fielders. This really was a full saving effort.
Coming back, the overall scenario, tell you what, from neutral perspective, it only spices things up for the last innings of the test match. Target the chase with time in hand, game on. Denying that Bangladesh have control as of now.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows it's going to be an uphill task, but you've got to dream. I think that is important for Pakistan. Yeah, 4 in both innings for the first time for Kurum Shahzad. And for someone who wasn't preferred in the first test match, this is such a great effort.
Four wickets in each innings, more to get in this. But it is the Pakistan seamers who have outshone. 9 wickets for them in the first innings, and so far all the wickets have been bagged by the seamers. Of course, Kurum Shahzad leading in that front. And one can expect the short ball strategy yet again coming around the wicket against Taijul. Goes angled. 72 done, 274 for 6.
नडियाडवाला और मैं हम दोनों एक ही स्कूल में पढ़े हैं और स्कूल का नाम है डॉन बॉस्को जो मटुंगा में है और ये एक इत्तेफाक समझिए या पता नहीं क्या हम दोनों एक ही बस में जाया करते थे बीएसटी बस 255 नंबर की टिकट खरीद
ये पीछे रहता था मैं आगे जब कंडक्टर इसके पास होता था तो बोला आगे टिकट और मेरे पास और पीछे टिकट
ये भी बता दूं आप लोगों को कि ये और मैं साथ में पढ़ते थे
In the lush greenery of Sylhet, beautiful setting in the Sylhet International. Sajid Khan, it is going to be from the rocket end. We've heard our fellow colleagues talk about the importance of lower end batters also spending some time in the nets and they had valuable runs. Sajid did for Pakistan. Taijul, Shoriful, they did for Bangladesh. Never undermine that. These days, the word all bowlers always keen on getting nets. Yeah, they'd be the first ones actually. Waste our time. Down the ground, hitting well, and then Mushfiqur will get next to spin 4.
has got to defend well here, Sergeant. He's got to get Tajul on strike. Give a single to Mushfiq. Mushfiq has amplified with a blistering straight form. Into the 70s. 70 is a 131, nearly 100.
Chose the call straight away. Very proactive, running the first one hard. He'll complete the second. Getting to 72. He gets 7 more runs, Mushfiqur Rahim. He'll be catching another milestone of 16,000 international runs. And will be the first Bangladeshi to do so. Masterclass he has been.
You're very late. Try next
For
year.
Bangladesh.
Sorry?
Next year.
Sorry?
Next year. Everybody fall in line, please.
So everybody, line up.
Sure, he'll feel out of place. Absolutely out of place once he retires. 20 years of international stardom and presence. And you got to say domination. I mean, that's such a wonderful
टीम
record.
के कैप्टन है आप?
Chandigarh.
ये चंडीगढ़ की टीम है.
Still remember, he was at the top of the town when he made his debut.
Captain of a state team.
Young kid, that baby
The
face.
Indian national women's team.
Still got a baby face.
वो
You
सच
have a
में
baby
रीति
face as well.
नहीं यार वो जोश के साथ में
Reversed. Sort of like an Uno reverse, so that's what Ravi's find it to be. And I'll take it as a compliment.
एक मिनट
Of course.
सारा आ जाओ जरा क्योंकि थोड़ा स्टेप भी देख ले पता भी चल जाए आप ऋतिक बने या जोश के शादी
Good improvisation. So a couple of days ago, Tajul with shadow practice. Yesterday morning, in fact. And then he goes for that vicious pull shot.
But few overs in terms of accumulating runs for Bangladesh. They are 281 for 6.
गुरु का जवानी में सुंदर लगता था अभी मैंने गुरुता को बोला कि 20 किलो कम कर और जो मूछ लगाया ना बेटा इसकी ये का तो मूछ निकाल दे गुरुता ने मुझे 6-7 साल से बोला कि तेरे को सुंदर स्टाइल का बॉडी बना के दूंगा पता नहीं इस जन्म में मुझे देखने में मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज़ वी हैव टू लूज 20 किलो अगले तरफ तो मदीने स्टेट पे करते हैं तो मेरा बेटा मुझे सर पड़ के दिखले गुरुता तो गुरुता जवानी में
The test match has come alive in this session, that's for sure. Pakistan getting 2 wickets, getting back into the game, putting the pressure back on. Bangladesh has turned out to be quite intriguing, the manner in which this is playing out. The lead for Bangladesh now 327. Ghuram Shahzad bending his back, reaping the benefits. 4 wickets so far. And the lethargic movements we noticed immediately prior to lunch are not there. There's more spring in the step of the Pakistanis, and they can feel an outside chance of getting some more quick wickets and put the pressure back. Good afternoon, Sikandar.
Good afternoon to you. Looking at the rate of scoring with which Bangladesh is moving along session-wise. They managed 93 in 26.2 overs in that first session, and they're already 78 with half an hour to go to tea. This is the deviation he's got in the 4 wickets that he has achieved. Moving away, this was the best for me. Then this morning, what a beautiful delivery. Angling in and then straightens up, squares up Miraz and takes that off stump. And we've, if I'm not wrong, had a no ball. Heard that sound in the background while we were we're showing those deviations. It is an no ball, yes.
One area that Kazakh needs to improve is not overstep. Bowled, I think, 6 of them so far. One full over gifted to the opposition in terms of extra balls and extra runs. It's not going to be very pleasing for Omar Gol, but he's bowled with a lot of heart. We must give him credit for that. And we'll look at the average deviation this test match. When he got the wickets, it's 1 degree. Other deliveries just half a degree. So just that little bit of extra has garnered the wickets for him. Change of angles. Understandably for the left-handed Tajul Islam.
And an extra half a degree deviation from the other deliveries is enough to beat the bat. That's exactly what has happened. Especially with the Miraz's case. Even Mominul's wicket you're talking about, the deviation. That he had to play that was coming towards him, and that 1 degree deviation was enough to miss the outer edge. He's that bowler who's a seam bowler. He gets those deviations pretty frequently.
Nicely riding that little bit of extra bounce. Well, there are some spectacular prizes waiting for those who wear the crown in this 2-match test series. The most valuable Bangladesh player will ride away with the stylish V-Moto CU electric bike. And the man of the series will receive the powerful and sporty V-Moto TSX electric bike from the Simba series. These eco-friendly electric bikes are proudly provided by V-Motors. Whoa! That reared up. Very disconcerting for Tajul Islam. Puts in a lot of effort. Does Karam Shahzad. Not too pacey, but look at this. Just pretty short, but the manner in which Tajul tried to ride it out. It's a good thing he dropped the hands on it. Wasn't tempted to have a poke. A forward short leg in position. Has played much more comfortably. 283 for 6.
एक्चुअली मुझे लगा था मुझे अवार्ड मिलने वाला है क्योंकि मैंने ये स्पोर्ट्स मुझे किए हैं I've been a wrestler, I've been a cricketer, I've been a cyclist तो बेस्ट ऑलराउंड स्पोर्ट्समैन ऑफ द ईयर शायद मुझे मिल जाए
मेरे अप्पा के सामने जब भी मैं तुम्हारी तरफ देखूं तो मैं मुंडी ना
क्या है
मुंडी
मुंडी क्या ओके कितना तरह और को वेट करो
With a couple of wickets already in this second session, Pakistan would really love to nip this partnership in the bud. 11 runs of 18 balls. Little pause and play in the middle with one of the batters getting some kind of attention. Very nice and quiet and serene here in Sylhet. Salman Ali Aga, a little bit of a chat with the keeper.
What Pakistan shouldn't do is allow the tail to wag again. Earlier, Das played with the tail. Tajul Islam, Shuriful added valuable runs. It's again the same case. So Tajul Islam, this time he's got a well-set Mushfiqur on 74. They've got to run through the tail-enders and come out to bat today. Or as quick as possible. We still have one more session, of course.
Well, with 283 on the board, it's already the highest inning score in the test match. from both the teams. Bangladesh will feel pretty comfy. And with every run added on, it's going to add to the misery and the pressure on the Pakistani batters when they come in for the chase.
Now, they've allowed Mushfiqur to take a single. The field was well spread out, and he's actually taken it on the first ball of the over. Interesting to see how Sajid will go with that left hand. Natajul in front of him. Short leg, leg slip, first slip. Then close, short cover. It wasn't the leg stump. He'll surely try and come back for the third, but the way Mushfiqur is just slowed down, he's happy to keep Tajul on strike.
Yeah, I think Tajul was pretty adept with the bat, scored 16 of 40 deliveries. He was there for quite some time. He had that very, very crucial support to Liton Kumar Das. So Mushfiqur can trust his batting prowess. Liton Kumar Das and Tajul put on a 16 runs partnership. And Shariful later, 64 runs. So when the tail wags, gets frustrating for the bowling unit, but it's so much value addition. That was through quickly. Target still striving for his first wicket. Jumps that. No, it's the call straight away. Heading straight for the fielder on the bounce. With more chatter around the wicket now. Not interested for a while. Let it go. 286 for 6.
It's like a professional way.
Well, it's a stat that Sajid doesn't want to look at. He needs just one more run to complete the century. And the others have done well. 3.96 economy rate and no wickets to boot. He had a chance to take a return catch. Couldn't manage to get his hands on it. Mushfiqur induces the edge from the reaction of the fielders. Possibly it was involuntary, but it's going to get him 4 runs. Doesn't matter how they come. As soon as they come. International runs with his boundary for the great Mushfiqur Rahim. Still going strong, still enjoying cricket after all these years. 102nd test match for him. All format there once, but regular as a test player at the moment. First Bangladeshi player, 16,000 runs in all formats of the game. 102 tests, average of 39 ODIs, 144 is best, average of 36.5 T20s. Yeah, there are 102 T20s played. Wow, what numbers, brilliant. And still going strong, and still getting the runs, and still swiveling around and pulling them to the boundary. Absolute marvel, this man here.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 16,000 international runs. He's got a career which prolonged 21 years. Made his debut in 2005, and that's also an important part one shouldn't forget. Kept himself fit, kept himself relevant, and also molded himself according to modern day cricket, how cricket has changed over a period of 2 decades, that you still are needed in that 11. you come up to the requirements of the modern day cricket. It's 83 not out. The lead now 340. You can see that on your screen. And looking at around the 15 minutes of play until tea on day 3. Sean hasn't had many moments to smile about today. Just one wicket in the first session and then a couple now in this session. He'd love to see his team walking out and padding up as soon as possible. For that, you still need 4 wickets.
Line on which Mushfiqur is batting at the moment. That target of 4 wickets seemed quite distant. Very confidently, just picking his runs, trusting the batting abilities of his partner Taijul Islam, making it more and more difficult. Turning the screws on, and every run added, Pakistan is going to make it very, very difficult to chase whatever target is set for them in the 4th innings. Hasn't been a high-scoring match per se, but the 2nd innings of Bangladesh, 341, you'd say is a good score. Taijul, well cramped up, annoyed with himself, but survives. 295 for 6. Well, is there one more ball to come? He's just checking for some reason. Let's wait and see. And it's been confirmed now. It's over. 295 for 6.
मेरा यकीन मानिए जज साहब, ये देव नहीं है। इसका मतलब ये आपके पति भी नहीं है? नहीं है। तो फिर ये कौन जज साहब है? कुछ भी बोले जा रहे हैं, आप इनकी बात मत सुनिए। ये जज साहब ये देव बोलो तो मैं नहीं सकता। जज साहब ये मुझे बचाना चाहते हैं, इसमें झूठ बोलते जा रही है। अजी पागल बनेंगे? हम यहाँ जिंदा खड़े हैं, हमें मार दिया जा रहा है। हमें एक मौका दीजिए, हम आपके हाथ जोड़ते हैं। हम अभी साबित कर देंगे कि हम देव हैं। इजाजत दें। क्या आपने कभी किसी से प्यार किया है?
A little treatment there for Taijul Islam. He's been receiving the short deliveries from Shahzad. Sajid, look at the numbers there, bottom right of your screen. None for 99 in his 25 overs. So another run will help him concede 100 wicketless. He had an opportunity where he dropped a simple catch. Cotton ball off his own bowling. You usually don't drop it off your own bowling. It was again an important one. He only brought that right hand. Later on that left hand came in, but by the time he decided to bring both those hands, it was too late. And he's a taskmaster. He's a good fielder. He's got a bullet arm. Don't know. Just took him by surprise, and here he is. He's got none for 99 against his name. The slight hold up here, some spray, some treatment for Taijul. Just 1 wicket in the test match up till now, 1 for 96 in that first innings. Hasn't really been consistently bowling the good areas. He was getting the turn and bounce last evening. But it's just that not being able to create that pressure from one end, and then your other bowlers, the faster men, can then get those wickets going if you're not getting wickets yourself. All said and done with Taijul's treatment, so it will be Mushfiqur now back on strike. Have 11 minutes to tea.
That's the point you're making there, Sikandar, about not having bowlers at either end complementing each other and keeping up the pressure. It's simple enough. I mean, you pay respect to one of the good bowlers, but that pressure that's created, I will see him going for the reverse, and I'll tell you what, I've seen Mushfiqur get out trying a reverse on previous occasions, and even there he was in a spot of bother. Maybe didn't get a touch with the bat, reflecting off the pads. Let's have a look at. Oh, well, not quite sure there. Good comeback delivery. Now, you have to scamper through quickly. Oh, at the last moment, really scurry along. And Sargent ticks over to 100. But he wouldn't like that. That's 100 runs off his bowling. Drop catch to boot. He'll play on his mind. Love to redeem himself with a wicket here. Wow. That's he tried to back away. Almost got an edge.
But that's what I'm talking about. If he can consistently be in good areas, he's still getting good bounce. Have a look at that. Where Rizwan collects it. And sometimes he gets that bounce with a turn. Just know it. With number 8 is batting, you got a little more tidy. There will be a mistake coming in. Sooner or later, amount of dot balls he consume, he'll look to hit one out. The release shot.
Short enough, chops it, not the right length. End of that over, it's 296 for 6. Well, this is the Dutch-Bangla Bank second test match of the series. Dutch-Bangla Bank is the first European joint venture bank in Bangladesh, and a pioneer in the banking sector of Bangladesh in terms of customer trust and confidence through transparent and pure banking. Hasan Ali comes in as a change bowler now into his 16th over. 1 for 53.
He's come up with some new plan because he had a plan of bowling short with 4 men behind the square on either side, waiting for that run shot and the pull and hook. But this time around, he's got more protection just on the onside, deep fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid wicket. That's for Mushfiqur. They do spread it out so that he crosses over and brings Tejul in front. Once he does, then the field will come in.
Mushfiqur Rahim on 85 continues in the manner in which he's been batting, except for a superb slog sweep. Just really not trying to go after the bowling in terms of sheer sort of attacking mode. It's just depth touches, using the angles, some shots squeeze through the covers. You know, delight to watch, and he'd love to get another 15 runs to get to that century. Missed out the first innings, 23 I think he got, and here's the opportunity. And also to take his team to almost a position from where it will be very, very difficult for Pakistan to try and win this match. Slowly and gradually, it's just been taken away from Pakistan's control. 342 runs the lead. Well, the second new ball is due in 2.3 overs. That might be a saving grace. Maybe a little extra incentive that Pakistan need to get through the wickets.
And with the second new ball available, if you don't bowl it in the right areas, that might help Mushfiqur get to his 100 quicker than he is at the moment, because that new ball We saw when Pakistan came in the Bangladesh second innings with Tanzir, then Joy going after them, scoring just over 6 runs and over. That new ball was just somewhat wasted.
Couple of changes in the field. Deep cover comes in, so does deep point into that imaginary 30-yard circle. And also the mid-wicket coming in from the deep. That's to stop him from taking a single and retained strike. The 5th ball of the over. Just managed to find the fielder there. Tajul a little uncomfortable in the previous over. So for a while anyway, the idea from Mushfiqur is trying to shield him for an over or two. More players within that area. There's a fielder going to about the 3rd slip or gully area. Fielder comes into mid-wicket from deep square. The 3 in the gully now, in the slips rather. And he's went away from any of the fielders. And gone for 4. It does not retain strike, but he gets himself 4 runs to finish off the over. Bangladesh go over to 300 for the loss of 6 wickets. The first 50 came in a hurry, 56 balls. Then the slowed down in that middle phase. The third 50 coming in 102 balls, and now he's stepping on the gas again.
That's your first new ball, 56 for the first 50. Shahzad now replaces Sajid. He's changed ends. Now be bowling from the rocket, and field had come in to stop him from taking a single. So once it passes the infield, so to speak, the ball travels. Outfield is quick.
Deceptively quick. I mean, you'd imagine with the rain, not in the last 2 days, but prior to that, huge amounts of rain had fallen, and was a little soggy under feet. So a little bit of a chat here. Shah Masood and Mushfiqur, not quite sure what it's all about. Mushi is gesturing that he's not happy with something.
Well, the chat over the stump cam is about Mushfiq's asking them to get on with it, and he's saying, I never said a word with you were getting yourself treated. So hang on a minute.
I don't think slowing down the game is going to benefit Pakistan in any manner. It's only going to just get them a little more confused. Now, the chatter still goes on. Umpire should be doing something about it. Oh, not again. Here they go. It's going past. Mushi ignoring. And what is going on here? They go and have a chat, slowing things down. Mushi can be quite a convincing person when he sets his mind to it.
Well, the funny thing is all this unnecessary discussion is wasting time anyway, which the initial argument is about, not to waste time.
Oh, what about that? What about that? A little swivel, a little touch with the bat, and off it went to the boundary. No luck with the bat. Tajul Islam enjoying himself.
No ball again from Shahzad. So you change ends, but one thing is not changing. Is now the 9th no ball overall from Pakistan. 7th from Puram.
Frustration creeping in slowly. And he just taps down a good ball. And when that frustration is reflected in your demeanor on the captain, Khan Masood, that is a bad sign. Just reflects on the other players. You see him mumbling and not quite sure. In the meantime, the lead has gone up to 351.
How many more do you want to give?
I think that's enough, but I think they'll go at least for another 50 before they consider any kind of declaration. Oh, no, that's not unlucky. This time there was a fielder just making sure he gets behind that, saves the boundary. Little erratic in this over, Karam Shahzad.
Yeah, surely he's looking to adopt that short ball strategy, but the radar is a bit off. He's got that leg slip. He's trying to involve him or Abbas, who is in the deep. It hasn't really happened up till now. Just almost worked the plan. With Mushfiqur back on strike, and the field again opens up. Still got a slip and a gully.
11 shy of the three-figure mark. He knows he's on the verge of a milestone. He works so hard. Work ethics are absolutely top class. At the ground practicing when there are no games on. Stickler for fitness, as you mentioned, over the years, 20 years or more. In there, much better than a lot of youngsters coming into the teams in recent times. What a man to look at, an icon for players to follow. He's not in a hurry. Oodles of time in this test match. Another 38.2 overs remaining today. 2 full days coming up. And just bide your time. Go easy.
2 more deliveries for this session to wrap up. They have already scored over 100 in this session, compared to the first one, which had 93.
Oh, he does take a run of the second last ball. Oh, he moves into the 90s. Just possibly the last ball before Tajul Islam needs to survive this ball. Comeback has done well to build up this partnership of 35 with Mushfiqur Rahim. 8 Tajul has got of 19 balls. Pakistan, some semblance of a little bit of a fight back with 2 wickets falling at 238 and 272. But once again, the ascendancy and the advantage back with Bangladesh. Right behind, solidly. To play that ball out, and they call T here at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. Bangladesh dominating. They are 307 for 6 with that man, Mr. Dependable, on 90 not out. Good support from Tajul Islam. And difficult period for the Pakistan players in the field.
Yeah, another good session for Bangladesh. 104 coming off it. They lost 2 in the process. Faced 26 overs, so a little faster in terms of scoring as compared to session 1. And as you mentioned, Mushfiqur is now playing that role which Litton Das did in their first outing. He's 19 not out and he's taking that lead, soaring. 353 at the moment and 307 is the score with 4 wickets in hand. There you go. The session runs and wickets. So still 2 days and a session left in this test match, and Bangladesh in a commanding position with 3-5-3 ahead.
Have a look at the session highlights. Liton Kumar Dash came in with Mushfiqur Rahim. always looking quite comfortable. He did get to his 50, eventually ended up at 69 of 92. There was an opportunity missed. He could have taken that, hit very hard to Sajid and followed up by some super shots right down the ground, through the line. Mushfiqur just pushed and nudged, used the angle so very well, very delicate in his touch cricket that he's so adept at, up to his 50. And appreciation from the skipper. And then trying to wrap that. Yes, on the right, the well just catch taken, much to the delight and relief of Hassan Ali. Squared up, bushy there, just in the air for a while. It's very late, so very good. And once in a while, the bowlers would have their say. But it was almost like a relief in that session.
Indeed, he was. He's closing up to be the man with the maximum number of hundreds for Bangladesh that he managed to get. And he's looking strong. And don't forget that he's never so dependable at all. So that'll be all right.
So that's the batting card. Mushfiqur a standout performance of 90 after Litton played 69. And then a little partnership, irritating partnership for Pakistan, 35 between these two, Tajul and Mushfiqur. They are 307 for 6, 353 runs ahead. Bowler struggled, opportunities created and missed. Shahzad, lone success in terms of wickets, 4 for 73. Abbas did well, is very economic right the way through these matches. Hassan Ali 1 for 57, nothing for Centurion Sajid Khan. So that's how it stands at T278, posted by Bangladesh in the first innings. 232 was the reply by Pakistan. Going strong, sitting pretty, dictating terms. At the interval, Bangladesh lead by 353 runs.
उस पंखों को दे चल
હવે ઊભી રહે પેલી ઓફવાનો ના કરી બિલકુલ રાતે બહુ જ ઠંડી લાગતી હતી
એ સવારમાં આમનો કરાવ તાર બાજુનું એટલે હતું તો રાતે મારા બાજુનું જ હતું
decides that yes, enough is enough. We've got enough of this. He comes up with it. He's only 9 runs away from his 40th Test match 100 Mushfiqur. So we'll have to wait and see what is going through the mind of the team management from Bangladesh. They are closing field for Tajul Islam.
This is the end. They like to put pressure on Tajul. The angle would perhaps indicate that it would slide down the leg, and Kumar Dharmasena hence not responding. Time is there. Khan Masood asking the question. Got 2 reviews left.
Yeah, straight away the reaction from the wicket-keeper Mohammad Rizwan suggested that it would have gone down the leg side. The angle that is going to the left hand, even the keeper behind the stumps is going leg side. Knows the field. The wide. That's a better delivery. So when you do come go wide of the crease, usually the ball will go down the leg side. Yeah, I was missing now. But quite a lot.
Quick delivery to end the quick over from Sajid Khan. Bangladesh 308 for 6. Day 1, 13 on day 2, and day 3 well hasn't been that fruitful for bowlers, and that goes on to tell you the story of the hard grind the Pakistan bowlers have had over the pass from the rocket end.
Yeah, the other concern for Pakistan is to look at the bowling depth that Bangladesh possesses. I know they've got a very healthy lead at the moment, and it will go bigger and bigger. And if you look at the first Test match, they showed that they have a bunch of bowlers who can take those 20 wickets. What was also worth noticing was in that first Test match, the spinners and the seamers shared equal number of wickets. 10 apiece for the spinners and 10 for the seamers for Bangladesh. And even in the first inning in this Test match, 5 apiece, 5 for spinners and 5 wickets for seamer. And what does that say about the bowling depth that the Bangladesh has? They rely on each other to be able to have Nahid Rana, Taskin Ahmed, Shoriful Islam as the front line. Seamers, don't forget Tajul Islam and Nabias Miraj. And that's a clarity which they started to show when they started this series.
That is a good shout from Abbas. Alauddin Palekar not showing any signs of interest. Might as well take it, Pakistan, take their chance, yes.
Sultan Masood has asked for it. Flat line. Inside. No batting ball. Ball tracking please when you're ready. Wicket missing. Palekar, it's your original decision, not out. Stand by. Stand by. You are on screen now.
Got it right. That bounce, it was the back leg of Mushfiqur Rahim and looked pretty close.
They've lost the review, but it's not a bad shout at all. Because he was deep in his crease when it struck him on the back leg. The question was always the height because it was just above the bad rolls when it struck him on the back leg. He needs a little bit of luck there, Mohammad Abbas. The Mushfiq survives.
This has been signalled a leg five, which means that Nigel is on strike. Slip and gully in place, round the wicket. Nicely driven. This is the shout yet again.
Yeah, because he got stuck in the crease and then he lost his balance. There you go. So just the height that saved him. Yeah, he thought it was a little bit high. And the ball also coming back into the right hand. It's well known.
They weren't taking a chance. As far as Pakistan are concerned, end of the over, 309 for 6.
This is what they've done in this cycle, as you see, World Test Championship, 2025-27 cycle. Played a drawn test match at all against Sri Lanka. Lost the second test match. But this, the win at April was magnificent. Good on course to pick up another win in this test cycle. Second new ball available.
Yeah, much better in comparison to the previous cycle, how it went for Bangladesh.
inside the ropes. Nexus Bay 4, inches closer to another century.
And that is a very good shot because there was a fielder at long on, but he decided to go over the top of the bowler. He's got his dancing shoes on. He goes down to the wicket, good use of the feet, goes to the pitch of delivery, and then decided, yes, I'm in business. And he puts that away in start, moves up to 95 with that boundary.
Nudges it on the onside. Moves on to 96. Bangladesh 3-1-4 for 6. One more time, Mushfiqur doing the job, not yet done. Hands out in that batting lineup at this scorecard. Maybe so, but you mentioned how this team is shaping up. Seen the records, you mentioned the fast bowlers up and high. Likes of Duskin, providing crucial breakthroughs at crucial junctures. That experience, the blend of youth and experience. Be it Taijul, Taskin, Mushfiqur, Mominul Haq, two former captains in the lineup. But also how Shanto leads the side. The fire of Nahid Rana included, Media Samira with bat and ball both. The likes of Hassan Mahmood, Khalid Ahmed, missing out. New ball has been taken. Single tonight. But I think it does wonders to have someone like a Mushfiqur in that dressing room. Money doesn't buy that experience. It's also about the youngsters going up to him and picking up as much as they can from someone like Mushfiqur on and off the field.
And don't forget the role with the bat from Taijul Islam. He's a frontline spinner. 60 in the first innings in that partnership with Lichan Dash. Play and a miss. And now he's added 43 with the Mushfiqur And in 70 balls, this partnership, it's another really good effort. They're just cricket. It's not just about making runs, it's also about spending time, occupation of the crease. It's based on 29 deliveries. He's only scored 8 runs on the partnership of 43. The bulk of runs coming from the bat of Mushfiqur 32. And if he can play shots like that, then why not?
It's important runs. The feel that clip of Taijul shadow batting and trying to pull it in. We've seen him executed in the middle of the previous session. And all eyes on Mushfiqur again. I can't emphasize enough on the fact how far he's come, and as the numbers are there,
He was just 18 years of age when he made his debut in the year 2005 at Lord's with Sydney. And it doesn't really look that it's been that long that he has played here. The only cricketer from Bangladesh to play more than 100 test matches. What a career. What a career. And he's still very focused. I see it in terms of maintaining himself physically more important.
still there. No shortage of that. And in no hurry either. Bangladesh 317 for 6. Most runs for Bangladesh in tests. Right at the top, Mushfiqur Rahim closing in 7,000 runs. Most runs for Bangladesh in international cricket. More than 16,000 runs for him. What a servant has been for Bangladesh cricket.
If you look closely at that stats, these are the most runs. So out of those players, the top one getters in Test cricket for Bangladesh. There are three still playing. Mushfiqur Rahim, but that's a great sign, isn't it? So there's something very refreshing to see Litton, who's got a long career ahead, he's already got more than 3,000 runs in Test cricket. Momin al-Haq just got past 5,000, and we know what Mushfiqur has done in his career. We spoke about the batting, or rather the bowling depth earlier on, but look at that batting depth. There's no Shanto there. He's been recently has hit the purple patch. There was also there is Mahmoud Hassan Joy, who entertained us with that quicker fire 50 in this inning. So there's so much to offer for Bangladesh. Has been a solid team performance. And when you started to gel together, then you start to realize what Test match cricket is all about. Bangladesh fans will be happy, will be pleased. And what they would want to see from here on, for Bangladesh to go from strength to strength. The Test matches to be played. They go to Zimbabwe, they'll be touring Australia after a very long time. If they can produce these kind of results, then you never know. You've got to have hope. And he's carried the hope on his shoulders for a very long time. 21 years of international cricket. And he's never given up. Yes, there has been backpacking in his career, but he's even worked harder to ensure that it gets back into form, and when it does, then it produces some magic.
Squared up a little bit, but he'll get a single out of there. 99 it is for Mushfiqur Rahim. And of the over, be 18 for 6. set the tone, 69 from the tone. Very good. It is all about Mushfiqur Rahim at this moment. Slightly quicker, skid on. Exactly what you talked about, and the blend of experience and youth that Bangladesh possess with someone like Mushfiqur Rahim, with his presence in the dressing room. It's all about trying to take more from him, because he does have so much to give. To a decade at this level, more than that in fact, 2 decades.
Yeah, he seems relaxed also. There's a big smile on his face. Yeah, what a moment that will be when he picks up a single and get past his 100, which will be the most by Bangladesh player in Test cricket. He's got 13. There it is! Mushfiq magic here in Sylhet. Mushfiqur Rahim has put on a show yet again, his 14th century. Cool and crafty. Nothing flashy. Did not rush it. Superb knock. A glorious moment. And what a milestone for one of the greatest ambassadors for Bangladesh cricket. Take him out. Mushfiqur Rahim, Mr. Dependable, now has the most centuries in Test cricket for Bangladesh. He's gone past Mominul Haq, who's also got 30. Picks up his 14th Test match 100, and on the way, and also a 50-run partnership. It has been a brilliant one. Moment to cherish for a very, very long time. Well played, Mushfiqur.
Demeanor in which he carries on with his business. That is the magical moment. His 1400 in Test match cricket. Look at how much it still means to him.
And he's been there for such a long time, 21 years. And he's seen players come and go. So many players have made debuts in front of him. So many have gone. But he's still there. There's a reason for that. All shot. Nigel Islam enjoying himself in the middle. And to be able to do what he has done in his Test career, picking up his 14th Test match 100, it should surely uplift the whole team. You get the youngsters, especially the youngsters, this is what he has done. 9 4s and 1 6. That means got a lot of singles. He's done a lot of running between the wickets. Because he's extremely